Pleasure, John.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming for the final head-to-head press conference prior to a fight that I think most boxing supporters and followers in the country have been looking forward to ever since it was first announced. I know as a journalist and a commentator, it's one which I think has got all the makings of being an absolutely outstanding night's entertainment. I'm looking forward to it immensely. Tickets are going very well, I'm told. They are still available. So we're hoping that Elland Road is going to be absolutely rammed for what could turn out to be one of the fights of the year. Promoter, of course, is Frank Warren. Frank.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here today. We're going to have a special night on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to it. We've got 22,000 people at the moment again. We're obviously with this great weather we're having, and obviously the sun's shining down on us. I think we're going to be full to the capacity we sent the arena out for, so there should be 25,000 people here. The majority of them will be behind this man. He's in his hometown. Josh has trained, as I know, like a demon for this. He's full of confidence. He's jumping out of his skin. I've never seen him look so fit and well. His dad's done a great job with him. And I think, as I say, we're going to be in for a special contest, a special night. You've got Lee Selby coming into Josh's backyard. That tells you all about him. But, this is going to be, I think, a real hostile environment for him. I know you're all behind Josh. We're all looking to see him come through this, as I am. I'm in Josh's corner. And I think we're going to make a little bit of history. And hopefully this is going to be one of many fights that we'll be going to be doing here in Leeds and at this soccer stadium over the next few years.
It is going to be a tremendous night's entertainment. Kaiser Chiefs are going to be playing here on Saturday night as well, and I'm happy to be able to report that the weather forecast, long-range weather forecast for Saturday, is very good indeed. They're talking about it being north side of 20 degrees, and it's going to be doors open, I think I'm right in saying, at 2 o'clock. Big screens are going to be showing the FA Cup final, and there's going to be boxing from 4 AM, Frank, yeah?
Yep, so we've got a great card and a great undercard, some great fights on there, and as I say, it's going to be good value for money.
Well, let me introduce the people who are here. First of all, to my right is Chris Saligar, who's promoter and manager of Lee Selby. Tony Borg, who trains the champion, the IBF champion. On my left is Sean O'Hagan, who trains Josh Warrington, and the two fighters, of course, Josh challenging for the IBF title and looking sharp as ever, and Lee, who is an outstanding champion. I think everybody knows that about boxing. He might be facing a hostile atmosphere, but I think every boxing fan realises what a very good fighter he is, and what a big task it is for Josh to come out as the winner. Well, let's hear from, I think, probably the trainers and managers first of all. Let's hear from Chris. Tell us a bit about Lee and what you are expecting come Saturday night.
Yeah, we're expecting a tough fight. Lee Selby's in great shape. He's been away sparring in Los Angeles. We've sparring with former world champions, top prospects. He's had the greatest preparation that he can. So there'll be no excuses if anything does go wrong on Saturday night. He's in great shape, and we've prepared for a very tough fight.
Preparations, Tony, you've obviously been at the centre of that, and you talk about the people he's been in with and where he's been working. Which gym have you been using, first of all? In Los Angeles, where have you been?
In Los Angeles, we were using the Maywood boxing gym. That's a Mexican gym where 90% just talk Mexican, or Spanish rather. Then we go to the wild card, really just there for just publicity more than anything else. But all the hard work was done at the Maywood boxing gym.
Sean, you were saying before we came up onto the stage that, I mean, I know the trainers always say we've had the best ever camp, but you were saying to me, believe it really is.
Absolutely. I mean, every trainer, as you say, they'll tell you that they've had the best camp ever. What I'll say is that you prepare for the fighter in front of you. So they've been looking at us fighting like Dennis Sealand and previous fights we had before. We prepare for them specifically, as we prepared for Lee specifically. And this camp has been so relaxed. It's just flawed, absolutely flawed. There's been no flaws, there's been no niggles. Everything's gone so smooth, very, very relaxed.
How much sparring have you done in the run up to this? What sort of preparation?
We've done a little bit extra, to be honest with you, because Lee's got a style that requires that, you know. Let's not forget, he's a very, very good fighter. I'm not going to sit here and try and build a fight. The fight's already built. He's a good fighter, and I've always said that. So we're doing a little bit more for this one. Probably in the region of about 150 now, 160.
What makes you confident? What do you see that makes you convinced that your man's going to take this fight?
Just really like, I mean, just saying what I've, repeating what I've said earlier, I mean, just our preparation. We've had some really, really good styling. We've covered every aspect of training. We've done more this time, we've thought about it more, we've gone deeper into things. And it's so sorted, you know, we've had nothing whatsoever, we've not had any kind of flaws in training. You can count on, I could count on one hand in all those rounds that we've sparred. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times he's been clean. And that's not me just saying that for everybody here to make a fight, that's genuine.
Tony, you've been looking after this fellow. How's his preparations been going?
First class. It's always first class. He always puts everything into his training sessions. He doesn't mess around outside of the gym. It's like there's all boxing. Preparation's gone perfectly as it always does. I think a lot's been put on, everyone's going on about how he's in the field with his hostile powers. He's going to fight on it, believe me.
What makes you so confident of that? Because there's a few people here today who'll be part of that hostile crowd. What makes you so confident?
I'm not confident, I'm 101% certain Lee Selby will go out there and thrive on the hostilities.
What about Josh as a fighter?
Yeah, he's a good fighter, very good fighter all around. But he's an elite fighter, he'll never go out of league.
So what's going to be the key in the styles between the two, in your opinion?
I'm not going to tell you, you'll find out Saturday.
Okay, let's hear from the two guys who were feisty in the pre-fight interviews, and I'm sure it's going to be more of the same today. Josh, let's start with you. How are you feeling?
I'm relaxed. Yeah, we had a bit of fun at the last press conference, didn't we? And interviews and everything else we went about. But for me, I feel like you know, I don't really need to say no more. You know, the last few months I've really put my body through well, give it absolutely everything. Every time I've gone into the gym, I give 100%. Just worked hard, constantly thinking about this is what it's all been leading up to. After all them years, after all the talk of, you know, me and Lee potentially fighting, it come down to this camp, and it, like I say, every session I've gone in, I'll absolutely give it everything. So, you know, the fans have turned out in the numbers. Can't thank them enough. They supported on this journey. It's been a hell of a journey, and it's for them as well as me. And now I just want to get in the ring and do the business. You know, Saturday is going to be a magnificent event. It's going to be a hell of a day. We're blessed with nice weather. You know, we've got the Chief returning home, and the Kaiser Chiefs players out just to add to that a little bit more special atmosphere. And yeah, I'm ready to lift that world title we've made.
Come on, Joe.
Leeds United fan who maybe, or non-Leeds United fan who's watching this live maybe on the net or wherever, the Chief being Lucas Radaby.
Yeah, the Chief being Lucas Radaby, and like I say, I feel like this is, you know, meant to be. I talk a lot about destiny. You know, many years ago, well, a few years ago, there was a chance for fighting for world title, and it didn't come off, and I would never meant to get me an opportunity again. But you know, certainly how things have gone, anything could have happened in them couple of years. Lee could have moved up weight, could have been beat. You know, things could have happened to me, but it's come round and it's just come round how I'd always dreamed about it, how I've always planned it. I've always said that I'd like to fight for world title at Ellen Road. It's here. It could have been the arena, but it's here, Ellen Road. You know, I've always said that if I had a ring walk, because I always have the former Leeds player down there, but with Rhinos or United, I'd have the Chief East turned up. The Kaiser Chiefs have agreed to players out. It's all falling into place. All I've got to do now is get in the ring and do the business on Saturday, and Leeds will have his first world champion.
Just how much it would mean as a Leeds boy, as a Leeds United fan, to have that IBF Champions belt around your waist when the fight's finished on Saturday night. Can you imagine that?
I've dreamt it many times, like I say, so I'm just ready to go now, you know. I don't feel like there's no need for anybody talking on Saturday. I get to punch him in the face then, so, you know, it's, there's no more need for spouting. And yeah, mate, just beyond dreams, especially because I've been written off like more or less since winning the British title. No one would expect me to win a European and then go on. And every fight from there, it's like one of them's going to get found out here, but I've just carried on going, and the fans have stuck behind me. And you know, one thing I can say, I'm very proud of that. You know, they're very, very loyal, and like I say, we do this together. It was just great to be history for the city, and no matter what happens after Saturday night, you know, I'll always be there in the history books as Leeds' first world champion, so something to be very, very proud of.
Lee, coming here as the world champion, and I think by any recognition, you know, it's kind of walking into the lion's den, isn't it?
Well, you could say that, but you know, the title of world champion, I should be willing and ready to defend my title anywhere in the world. You know, it's only 4 hours up the road, 5 hours up the road from where I live, so it's not so much of a lion's den to me.
And how are you feeling? What are your thoughts about stepping into that arena when, I mean, you will have your supporters, but I think it's fair to say there'll be more for Josh.
I think the supporters are better. It's just another defence, it's just another fight.
And are you going into it with the mindset, as Tony said, that he's a good fighter, but not an elite fighter?
To be honest, I treat every opponent the same. I prepare myself. I don't like train for a certain style or a certain opponent. I train to get myself right. Whatever happens on the night, I know I've done the best I can to make sure I'm ready. Whatever happens on the night, happens on the night.
How's your weight? Because you're a big lad for the featherweight limit. Are you going to be there and okay at the weigh-in?
Of course. I've been making the 9 stone limit since maybe 2008. I've done it every time. I've never come in on the weight. I'm always underweight. I think I was 2 pounds lighter than my last weight. So weight's available.
Forget me. Tell Josh what you think's going to happen on Saturday night.
Just like the previous defences, and I've won for Leeds Selby.
No chance, lad.
Josh?
Huh? What you said?
I said you're getting deep throw this time, lad.
Don't be serious.
Should swap names now, lad. Should be Josh there, not Chris over.
Go on, Josh. What do you reckon? Anything you'd like to say to him?
Not really, like I say, you know, I'm glad that he's prepared the way he has done. Because like I say, you know, he's knocked me many times over the years, and on Saturday night I've got my chance to show him, to prove to him, and well, it's not proving to him. It's all about that. It's about the world title, and it's about, you know, doing it for the city and everything else. But yeah, exactly, and it's just a little bit nicer than him. And obviously, you know, like I say, we'll get to punch him in the face after discrediting the fans and everything else over the years, and you know, discrediting me. So listen, you know, carry on with your pictures this week, Lee, with that belt and everything else, because it's staying here, pal. Once it comes here, that world title's staying here.
I'm not going to say get an argument, like easily. That's not what you're looking for. Nonsense. I'm a humble guy. You know, you see in the first press conference, he was running his mouth. Like the guys at Leeds wanted to win, but the whole country are backing me and hoping I win. Yeah, no, listen.
Where are they? Where are they?
I'm sure, like you see it every time, like BoxNation or
Coming in the thousands from
tweets
where-
or do something on Instagram, you get an alert on your phone, you see all the abuse you get.
You've got dental brown on your side, Lee.
Who's he? 3 foot
Dental
dental.
brown,
Yeah.
big bucket man.
Big
That's why we're in a better
Sorry,
fight tomorrow, you know. Usually great fighter.
Listen, you cannot keep up fans in country, you know, from wherever, from top Scotland to bottom London. I'd rather have all these behind me any day. Best fans in country, they always support me and they always turn out the numbers. So listen, there'll be 20,000 there, and I'm proud to have the numbers behind me, you know, 25, whatever. And you know, it's funny all them boys who don't want me to win outside Leeds. Listen, no one likes Leeds. And we love it. That's what we love it, don't we? We all love Leeds.
Sound the whole country, you're only bringing 100 people with you.
Look how much more.
You're bringing your Mexicans, you're bringing Sinaloa cartel from Los Angeles gym with you, Lee.
Well, they're English.
We don't need any of them. This is boxing, not football. There's 2 men in the ring.
Does the crowd and the hostile atmosphere which you are going to get, does that worry you at all?
When his gun was hostile,
Hostile.
don't be suited.
Is this hostile? This is hostile.
In fact, that's
This is
what
my
it is.
style.
Yeah, can we get
This is not my style, yeah? You've got to experience that style, but this is not style. Don't be putting that here.
Let's see Saturday.
No, man, you haven't got a clue. You wait till Saturday.
I'm on a different breed.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Let's get some proper questions from the floor, from the press and people who've come here today. Anything for the guys who are up here? Nick?
I'll just turn around and say it, isn't it? It's not like me to say it too much.
No, it's not, is it?
Listen, at the end of the day,
That make a
Don't work
change.
for Joe.
we had a dream. We had a dream. We're about to bring this dream to
Still
realisation.
got a dream.
Listen, we respect you 100%. Tony, I banged a few of your fighters already. No, I'm totally
Everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen it. Kazaki's it too.
Listen, I'll tell you this, Kawasaki, one of the greatest fighters to come out of the already.
I know.
And I can't take that away.
Leave it, Nick.
I know. But listen, I'll say now and say something. When the stars align, Lee, you've been a fantastic champion, mate. And I give you full credit for that. You're a very talented fighter.
Thanks.
I'll tell you, and that is
Yeah,
genuine.
no, I'm saying thank you. This is genuine.
But from our point of view, their point of view, quite a few other people's point of view, it's coming so close, mate.
Yeah?
I think so.
We'll see.
No,
Yeah, but he's
I
got
think so.
pencil behind him, don't forget.
Who's he? Listen, you know what it is?
Who are you?
Sometimes what you've got to do is you've got to turn around and make sure that these are relevant.
Yeah, you're entitled to
Relevant. But you know what it is? And what we should say as well is, Tony, congratulations.
Thank
He's
you.
done a good job with it.
No,
Fantastic
I
job.
just got married.
Has it? Oh, congratulations.
No, we'll stay respectful. We're still going to bang you, but respectfully. I'll say no more.
Any more, guys? Any more? Come on. They're here, ready to answer questions. Shout them up.
Great scholar, that'll be change.
Was that in English? What you said?
Stand up. Leeds.
Next.
Any more?
Yeah, come on, mate. Tell us.
Yeah, go on,
what's
Ben.
going to happen.
Let's have some questions from the press, please.
Jeff?
Josh, do you think Lee respects you?
I don't even know if he knows himself, to be honest with you. You know, he takes an humble approach. You know, credits me as a fighter, then he goes to another interview and discredits me. I don't know what his thoughts are. He'll know after Saturday night, because he'll have to. He'll be, you know, over the years saying I won't get to his level and I'm just an average fighter and blah 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 and all that stuff. But it'll be embarrassing for him to be losing his title to just an average fighter, won't it? So you know, I don't care, to be honest with you, if he respects me or not. At the end of the day, it's about that belt and winning that belt, what's it, and for myself and you know, it's just a nice added incentive that, like I say, I get to punch him in the face.
Lee,
Yes.
compared to your previous 4 challenges, where does Josh compare with them? You was doing list of 1, 2, 3, 4?
Well, if I was given a list of the names of the fighters, you'd probably have to. Well, you wouldn't pick one at the top. The last guy you pick as like the easiest defence, and then you'd have to pick Josh just to the other guys' resumes. But more than that, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Out of all the people that you have fought,
Yeah.
I think that you've never fought anybody that's got like the same work ethic, the same determination, and the same like, power of the fans behind. I know you say 2 minutes.
Probably not the same backing of the fans, but you know they're all professional fighters challenging for a world title. They all got the hunger and the desire. Otherwise, they shouldn't be there. You know.
Do you not think in your mind for 1 minute that the desire of this kid and 25,000 leads basically is just going to destroy you?
What? Destroy me? I never get overwhelmed. It's a fight. I'd expect nothing less than people who, if we were going to have a fight outside, I'd expect like a crowd to be around me shouting and screaming. That's what a fight is.
Lee, there's a bit of a feeling within the sport, I think, and among the supposed experts, that this guy's style is probably not what you would choose, because he's going to be in your face and he's going to fight 3 minutes of every round, and there's going to be no chance to switch off and take a little walk and buy a few seconds, because he's going to be on you.
So, some experts say that, but other experts say his style is tailor-made for me. You know, keep coming pressure, me boxing on the back foot, picking him off as he comes in. But that's the great thing about boxing, it's opinionated. It's an opinionated sport.
Do you think your style's right to give him a nightmare night?
All I'll say, John, is I'm able to adapt. When I've had the styles of like when people come forward to me, or because I'm known as a core forward pressure fighter, I've always been able to adapt and do what I need to do to win, and I think that's what will separate this fight, how bad I'm willing to go and how far I'm willing to go. And like I said, Lee will want to keep hold of his belt, but I just want this so bad. I want this so bad, and for the years and going through, you know, all the hard graft training sessions and the fights previous and the pressure of having the fights beforehand, just to this moment, and I'm just ready for this weekend, you know, and I'll just give absolutely everything, every ounce of energy in my body to win that world title.
How do you think it's going to end, Lee? Do you think you'll stop him? Do you think it's going to go the distance? What do you predict?
Just Lee Selby winning. You know, I'm not Muhammad Ali. I can't predict the round or anything like that. But I just see myself winning. And if I didn't, I shouldn't be here.
And you can match that determination, can you? Having been, you know, you're the champion and you're trying to get up to that level again.
If you're a professional boxer, you haven't got that desire, right? Determination to become a world champion, you shouldn't be in the game.
Any more from the floor? Any questions for any of the guys? Dev?
Yeah, so Cole Franklin's going to be ringside. Is that going to be a distraction? Have you got one eye on him for after this fight? Questions about him?
For me, take it with fight as it comes. Obviously, it's nice to have an idea of where you want to go for in your career. Potentially down the road, yeah, a big fight with Carl. I only seen him last week and I said the same thing to him. I said, when I get through this one on Saturday, you know, I'd like to potentially get a fight with you in the future. But all my focus and attention is on Saturday. No matter who will be there. If you get all the world champions there, the boys trapped to me, it's my mind's on Lee Selby only.
Having Carl Franklin there won't be a distraction at all. But if I come through second, okay, that'd be the fight I'd want to go straight into this. You know, you got a date in August, I think. I'd like to go straight into it.
You'd be happy going to Belfast then?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I've boxed there before, and it was a great experience. Packed that arena again, and I ready to see the opportunity.
And if you won, would you be happy to go to Belfast?
When I win, yeah, I'd like to take the boys and the girls on a little away day. We had a good time when we went to Berlin a few years ago, and I think 10,000 odd Leeds fans in Belfast did a good day out.
What's the score with that one, Frank?
It was there to be made, you know, for the winner to get that fight. So a fight that everybody wants to see, be a unification fight. Where it takes place, we don't know yet. Let's let's get this one out of the way first of all. You know, there's a great series of fights to be made. You don't know how this fight's going to be. This may be a very close fight. Maybe a return, it may be a trilogy, who knows how it's going to be. It's just, all you know, it's got fight written all over it. You're going to see something special on the night.
Yeah, I mean, you've commentated, rather promoted on a lot of big fights. I mean, how highly do you rate this one compared with some of the great fights you've been involved in the past?
It's up there with all of them. You know, first of all, a fight is what it's all about, and we've got a great fight. The second thing is the atmosphere. Well, look at these guys. This is the press conference. Imagine what it's going to be like on the night. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. It's going to be lively. We're going to have some good fights on the undercard. It's just going to be a fantastic event, and the cherry on the cake is hopefully. I'm very confident that Josh can bring home the prize to Leeds.
Josh, final message to this guy?
Final message, I'll finish on saying it's interesting to say that you listen to your prediction, Lee. Obviously, you're just going for a win, but it's interesting to say that you're not going to bang me out on this on the run and say the final bell. Obviously you'll be confident going into the ring, but there's no way that you can or would be able to prepare for what you're going to expect on Saturday night. With myself and the crowd, they always get said about the crowd are not in there with me, but I certainly feed off that energy. And walking into a crowd like this, it's a little bit different. We just do things different than Leeds. I'll finish on saying to the fans, in your numbers, thank you for over the years. So I've done a week without you, and I've fed off your energy over the years. If you've been to one fight, if you've been to all of them, which many of have, since the small old shows in the leisure centres when I was last on, to these big events now, Ellen Road, thank you very much, and make the noise in the stands, and I'll deliver everything else in the ring, and let's get that fucking world title. Come on.
Final message as the champion, message to Josh.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm looking forward to making a successful fifth defence, moving on to the next one.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. If you've got anything else to say, now's the time to say it.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
What I would like to point out is that press conference, sorry not press conference, public workouts come tomorrow, the way. For all we do appreciate your support, what we don't want, we want to show Lee a little bit of respect. He's a world champion, he's coming here, he's given us opportunity. Let's bear that in mind. So, well, a bit of banter's okay, odd comment here and there. Let's not get too silly, yeah? You just put that message out to everybody. Let's keep it there, show him a little bit of respect. Yeah.
Right, we're going to be doing some photographs for the press photographers first of all here, and then broadcast media, broadcast television will be doing interviews out on the pitch or in the stand, and then sit-down interviews and one-on-ones with the internet guys and the newspaper journalists who are here following that. So photographs first of all.